Hello everyone. I am excited to announce that I'm kicking off a new series to show you some of the coolest high-tech medical devices I got to work with during my time in the healthcare industry. Back in my hospital days, I'd often find myself casually holding different instruments and gadgets and realizing they cost more than my entire mortgage. But of all the high-tech instruments I touched, the one that stopped me in my tracks was the colonoscope. Yes, the butt camera. It's the only camera on earth nobody wants to smile for, but when I actually held it and saw what it could do, my perspective flipped. It's a sci-fi masterpiece, unfairly trapped in an awkward punchline. Today, we're getting past the ew factor to talk about why this misunderstood snake-like robot is actually the coolest and most essential piece of tech in the building. The human body is a fortress. It is designed to keep the outside world out. For thousands of years, physicians had a problem. They knew that the secrets to illness, and specifically the silent killer known as colorectal cancer, lay hidden deep inside the winding tunnels of the human anatomy, but they had no way to see them. To look inside, you had to cut the fortress open. Surgery was the only diagnostic tool. Today, I want to talk to you about the basic concept and design of the machine that changed everything. It is a device that combines fiber optics, fluid dynamics, and puppetry into one life-saving instrument. We call it the flexible colonoscope. And while the procedure makes us giggle or cringe, the design is nothing short of spectacular. To understand the brilliance of the flexible design, we have to look at the horror of the rigid past. In the late 1800s, if a doctor wanted to look into a stomach or an intestine, they used a rigid metal tube. This was called the rigid endoscope. Here's a fact that sounds like fiction. The very first successful demonstration of a rigid scope into a stomach wasn't performed on a patient, it was performed on a professional sword swallower. Why? Because he was the only person who had trained his gag reflex and esophagus to accept a straight 40-centimeter metal rod without panicking. But the human colon isn't a straight line. It is a series of loops, sharp corners, and hairpin turns. You cannot put a straight metal rod into a curved tunnel. It was physically impossible to see the danger zones. The world needed a way to see around corners. We needed a way to bend light. The concept, bending light. This brings us to the core concept. In the mid-20th century, physics gave us a gift, fiber optics. The concept is simple, but revolutionary. Imagine a single strand of glass, thinner than a human hair. If you shine a light in one end, it doesn't just shoot out, it bounces off the internal walls of the glass, traveling the entire length of the fiber, even if you tie that fiber in a knot. This is called total internal reflection. Engineers realized that if you bundled thousands of these fibers together, you could transmit an image from inside the body, around a corner, back to the doctor's eye. Suddenly, the straight rod became the flexible serpent. The concept shifted from looking down a pipe to transmitting data through a cable. This allowed for the invention of a scope that could snake through the sigmoid colon, navigate the splenic flexure, and reach the cecum the entire length of the large intestine without a single incision. Now, let's look at the design. If you hold a colonoscope, it feels substantial. It looks like a simple dark gray tube, but if you sliced a cross-section of that tube, you would see a marvel of miniaturization. It is not just a camera, it is a robotic arm. Inside that waterproof sheath, packed into a diameter of about 12 millimeters, are four distinct systems running in parallel. 1. The visual system. High-definition video chips and LED light guides that illuminate a pitch-black tunnel. 2. The hydraulic system. A channel that sprays water to clean the lens and blasts air to inflate the colon, expanding the walls so the camera can see. 3. The mechanical system. This is my favorite part. The tip of the scope is articulated. By turning the handle, the doctor pulls steel wires running the length of the scope like a marionette, causing the tip to curl up, down, left, or right up to 180 degrees. 4. The therapeutic channel, a hollow tunnel that allows tools to pass through. This is the genius of the design. It didn't just want to see the problem, it tried to fix it. When a doctor spots a polyp, a small growth that could turn into cancer, they don't just take a picture. They slide a snare, a small wire loop, down that internal channel, lasso the polyp, and cauterize it instantly. The design turned a diagnostic tool into a surgical suite. Conclusion: the impact. We often overlook the elegance of medical devices because we fear the environment in which they operate. But consider this. The flexible colonoscope is a machine that navigates the most challenging terrain of the human body, carrying its own light, camera, and surgical tools. It does this while being soft enough not to harm us, yet rigid enough to be pushed forward. It was invented because we refused to accept that cutting the body open was the only way to see the truth. Because of this specific design, this ability to bend light and manipulate tools around corners, colorectal cancer is now one of the most preventable forms of cancer in the world. That is not just good medicine, that is a spectacular design. Thank you for watching. I hope this video provided a clear understanding of the basic concept, design, and vital purpose of the colonoscope. I would love to hear your feedback or any questions you might have, so please leave a comment below. If you found this content valuable, make sure to subscribe to stay updated with future videos. Bye for now.